Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. You're watching Spotlight, and today I'm joined by Lisa Drake and Beth Stremmel of CASA of DuPage County. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having us.
We're excited to have you, and I'm going to start right out with you, Lisa.
Sure.
What's the mission of CASA of DuPage County?
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and we believe that every child that's in the juvenile court system due to abuse, neglect, or dependency has a voice in court. So we recruit, train, and screen volunteers to speak in the best interest of this particular group of children.
Yeah, that's a advocate, right?
Yes, absolutely,
yeah.
Yes.
Now, how did that get started? How did this whole process get started?
CASA came to pass back in the 70s in Seattle with Judge Soukup, who's from the Soukup family here in Glen Ellen, Wheaton area. And he realized, he was a general jurisdiction judge, and realized that in all of the cases that he heard, he would hear fair from both sides. Right. But in the juvenile cases, he only heard from parties that had a paid perspective. And he never heard from the child whose decision he would be impacting the most.
Okay.
So what he realized was his eyes and ears were missing, and the voice of the child was missing. And he created CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates. It's a national organization that functions on a state level. So every state has CASA programs, but not every county.
Okay, but we're lucky enough to have one right here in DuPage County.
That's correct. There's 102 counties in Illinois and only 36 CASA programs in the entire state.
Wow. So that really, you hate to have a child in that system, but if they're in there, this is a place to be in that system, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're very fortunate to be able to say that our program in particular serves 100% of the children in our community that find themselves in this terrible position.
So Beth, tell us a little bit about how the children that you serve come into your situation and into the system.
Yes, sure. The cases usually start with a call to the Department of Children and Family Services Child Abuse Hotline. Okay. Someone suspects that a child is being impacted in that way. DCFS goes out and investigates the situation, and if it determines that child maltreatment is found, then they call the DuPage County State's Attorney, who intervenes on their behalf and files an emergency petition, which then typically removes the child from the home, and the case becomes part of DuPage County Juvenile Court.
Okay.
So these children are then thrown into this court system through no fault of their own. They don't even know what happened. Well, they know what happened, but they don't really understand why.
Sure.
So then a DCFS caseworker is assigned to the case, and the judge at that same time appoints one of our CASA advocates to the case. Our advocates are all volunteers, and they come in and they're willing to go be by the side of these children during this very difficult time.
Yeah.
Just a point of information, because people think we live in DuPage County, this doesn't happen here. We served 340 children last year, so sadly it does. The need is there. Yeah.
That's a staggering number, but what an amazing situation. You find yourself in that situation, but to know that you have somebody there who's advocating on your behalf, right?
Exactly.
Maybe you could share a story or two about how that sort of played out for a child.
Absolutely. The one thing that's really notable about our advocates, they are volunteers, and they make a commitment to stay with these children until the case is resolved.
Okay.
And lots of things will change for these children. The cases can last up to 3 years.
Wow.
Their foster home might change. Because of that, their school might change. The judge could change. The attorney could change. But our advocate doesn't change.
So it's the constant.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
constant.
the word we use.
Okay.
That is a source of stability for these children in turmoil. So some examples. In one case, the advocate was the person who noticed that the child wasn't seeing well, was complaining, noted in their report that goes to the judge of this issue. The judge then issued an order to make sure that child was taken to the eye doctor.
Okay.
Another case was a family of 3 school-age children whose parents died very tragically and suddenly. They were in foster care with a relative, but this relative never had children before. So the advocates helped them do simple things like sign them up for soccer or baseball or things that they should have had cared for them, but no one was there to do it. And then the last example I'll share quickly is that we had an advocate who helped a young man apply to college, obtain financial aid, and started at a local community college. And if you have any college-age children, you know that is not
no
an easy
small
The
task.
forms are overwhelming right
Yes,
there, just thinking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this child might not have had that opportunity if the advocate hadn't sat by his side to make sure everything was done for him. Well, these are things children should take for granted.
Yes.
And our advocates are there to get the resources for them, to hope that they can get these things taken care of for them.
Those are big jobs. I mean, even in just the little jobs, they're big jobs because of the impact they're having on those children.
Exactly.
So, Lisa, how do you find the volunteers? How do you recruit them? Do they have to have special skills? What does that look like?
Well, being here at NC 17 is a huge help for us. So we have our website that our website has a place where you can sign up to become an advocate or get information when advocate training is going to take place. It takes place twice a year. It's a 35-hour program. All of our advocates have background checks, police screenings, the fingerprints, the whole shoot and match.
Okay.
But you don't need any special skills in the sense of you had to be a teacher or you have to be an attorney or anything like that. We do have those types of backgrounds as volunteers. But we really need you to be objective. Mm-hmm. We need you to be unbiased and understand that the court process is in place to protect everyone involved. It's easy to get very enmeshed in these cases, and so being able to stay on our side of the line is the number one priority or self. If you're able to identify your ability to do that, you would make a lovely volunteer.
Okay. So twice a year, though, is the training.
Yes.
A 3-year commitment, potentially, right? Potentially.
Right.
I mean, just as long as the case goes.
Yes.
So obviously, volunteers is a big piece. Beth, are there other ways that folks can help CASA?
Absolutely. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and CASA is committed to raising awareness about this issue in our community. So we look for individuals, organizations, businesses who will partner with us, maybe put up signs, tie blue ribbons on trees, have small fundraising events for us during that month.
Okay.
In addition, we are a nonprofit, and we have to raise our funds every year, so we have 2 major fundraising events. This year's our 25th anniversary, so we're going to have a very special gala in October. But even before that, in May, we have a golf outing. It's May 21st in Wheaton. So we're always looking for golfers and sponsors for these events.
Okay.
And finally, we rely on the incredible generosity of this community, so we welcome financial contributions at any time, and all that information is available on our website for people to figure out how to do that.
Well, great. Well, and congratulations on 25 years. I mean, that's
Thank
an
you.
amazing quarter of a century. That's wonderful. And obviously, working so hard on behalf of children who certainly, as you well put it, did not do anything to get themselves into the situation that they are. So on behalf of them, we thank you for all the good work that you're doing, and we wish you the best of luck with your anniversary year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you would like to find out more about how to become a volunteer advocate, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.